get sat down, get the tea ready, because everything, and I mean everything, has kicked off. I honestly thought we were past this. I honestly did. Babies are flying, titties are shaking. Nobody could have anticipated what has been happening in the beauty world. So I hope you're ready. I hope your titties are strapped in. Let's get started. Today I'm drinking Pure Peppermint by Twinings, and the tea is scorching. I hope you've been having a good week, because it's just got a lot better. A lot better. Manny has been thrown off the PR list. Tati has been thrown out of existence. I honestly thought we were past this. Where shall we even begin? Why don't we do our introductions? Manny Mua is a beauty guru, millions of subscribers, had some recent controversy with a few people. We have covered it on this channel 1 or 2 times. Tati Westbrook, aka Tati Westbrook, aka Glam Life Guru, is a beauty guru who is known for staying in her own lane. She is a very, very intelligent businesswoman. She's a little bit older than her peers. And I say that with no shade and with no negative connotation, because I think she runs the game. And I think if she could give some of her wisdom to some of the other people in this industry, and we could even we could also cut what she has to offer, I just think we would all be getting somewhere. I mean, like, genuinely, I think Tati is someone that's very talented. It's not just that she does good videos, like, minimum, but it's the fact that she will consistently, 9 to 5 plus every day, have like a new video with hot shit out, and she doesn't leech off other people. Like, she's not constantly collabing with people. Like, I don't mean that in a horrible way, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like she's ever needed that. Like, she's continuously grown all by herself. Obviously, we had the whole controversy with Voldemort, which just had to happen, but maybe that was a learning experience for her. You know, things happen for a reason. Why don't we first of all begin with the Manny Mua story? So basically, Manny Mua has been thrown off the Kim K PR list. He did not receive any of the pigments that were posted to anyone else. She's come up with these new eye pigments, very much like Steeler, that company that do the eye pigments. I know Black Moon also have something very similar. And it's basically these liquid eyeshadows where you apply them to the skin, they dry down, and they have a really beautiful finish, and they stay put. And it's kind of like having like a cream eyeshadow, except it dries down and it's thinner, and you can layer it up on top of things, I guess, and have buildable effects. She came up with this collection. Lots of people have been talking about it. Nikki Tutorials did an entire video talking about it. Hope Nikki's okay, by the way. Nikki did post on Twitter that she was attacked in Amsterdam, and she's fine, but somebody kicked her leg so that she would drop a bag so they could take it, but she didn't drop a bag. So I definitely think if you are someone that uses social media and you feel like reaching out, I definitely think, I don't know, I'm not going to get in people's business, but I definitely think it's nice to send a supportive message and say, I hope you're okay, because it sounded really horrible what happened to her. He did not receive the collection, and he went on full force meltdown about this. He was on Snapchat talking about how he did not receive the collection.
I believe they launched today, actually. They launched today. And whether I'm not going to be doing a review on it, or whether I was going to be doing one. And actually, I never got them in the mail. I got back from New York thinking I had them because I was going to film with them, and I never had them, so I'm not going to do a review on them. And a lot of people have done reviews on them, so I feel like it's kind of overkill, you know what I mean? Who knows, maybe I was kicked off the PR list, maybe it got lost in the mail, I have no idea, but so I'm not going to be doing a review on those, sadly.
He was incredibly salty. For those of you that don't remember the Manny Mua story, this is the same Manny Mua that wanted to get on that PR list.
And I'm like, oh my god, this is such a cute little suitcase. Oh! What I do find odd, though, about brands is when they have a collection out, they don't send the full collection, they only send like a couple items. Like, the whole entire collection is 12, but they sent me 6. Do you guys think I need the Kylie Burgundy palette? Do I need it, or do I pass on it? If I could just get on that PR list. If I just get on that fucking list, then I don't have to stress about buying it.
With the Kylie collection, and he had to ask on Snapchat, like, if only I could get on the PR list, if only I could get on into it. And he did get onto Kylie's for a while. I don't know if he's still there. One of the reasons he might have been removed, and one of the reasons that I've heard through the grapevines that he's been removed from the YSL PR list, is because apparently he was at an event in New York, and he posted on Instagram to 4 million people what we believe to be 2 people having sex, and you can hear them. Like, he's in a hotel, I think it's the evening, and he takes a recording outside someone's hotel room of them sounding like they're going at it, you know? So a lot of people have had opinions on this. I would love to know what you think about this. It honestly sounds crazy to me. Like, I honestly think it's kind of like one of those things where I think he kind of feels like he's untouchable. Because to me, like, I feel like if I did anything like that, like if anyone did anything like that, it would be a completely different kind of story, like recording someone without their permission, their audio, you know, see people doing something really intimate. So it came across as crazy. Apparently, he was removed from the YSL PR list, apparently. I can't confirm that, but that's what came to me. Along with that, he's obviously been in some other controversy. At the same time that happened, Joffrey posted on Snapchat a few hours later saying something like common sense isn't so common anymore. Obviously, we don't know if that's related, but given all the controversy that we have investigated over the past few weeks with those two people, it does seem like it could be a likelihood. Now, what happened next is really where things start to get shady. I haven't even got sugar in this tea, I'm already sweet enough today. He goes on Snapchat. I kind of feel like he gets petty points, but at the same time, in his level, at his position, it looks like, you know, it kind of degrades his value in the industry. Like, Nikki kind of keeps calm and she doesn't get petty about things. And I know it's not something that comes naturally. I know that she has in the past, as have I, as have everybody. Everyone does petty things and grows and learns. But Nikki Tutorials is someone, for an example, that doesn't really engage in any of that. Even when Joffrey's posting things about her in a relationship with Two-Face and stuff like that, she keeps her mouth quiet and she really focuses on her own lane, and that's something that I think is very admirable. Manny went onto Snapchat and basically started saying, oh, look how beautiful these Stila pigments are. Like, this is the direct competitor that Kim K is presumably very inspired by.
Okay, guys, so I'm wearing Kitten Shimmering Glow Shadow from Stila, and honestly, shook. Like, it's so beautiful. Some people were saying that I should try using it as a highlight. I don't think that it would work because it's a little too harsh and it dries down too intensely, which is good for, like, the eyes. I don't know about the highlight. I don't know if that would work, but, yo, this reflection, like, I'm shook. I love these.
But Stila, that's what they're really famous for. They do also have lip products, but they are the most famous for their pigments, for their eye pigments. So obviously it does look incredibly suspicious. It kind of just like, oh, Kimmy K. But then at the same time, it's like, well, no one owns the trademark to eye pigments. Do you know what I mean? So I guess Kim K's free to do whatever she wants. And realistically, if it's a better formula than Stila and it's a better price, I guess people will try it. And if it's not, and it's Kim K from what we've seen so far, to be blunt with you, with some of the stuff that she's put out and the shade range that she's put out, obviously not as applicable, but I think people will vote with their wallets. I think that's something that I've always believed in. And so Manny, it's very obvious he's being shady because it's directly after he's speaking about the Kim K pigments. Suddenly start talking about how good the Stila ones are. Is it Stila or Sheila? I always say Stila, but I have a friend whose mom is called Sheila, so for some reason these pigments always remind me of her. And I'm always like, oh my god, Sheila. So obviously it looks like he's coming directly at Kim K's brand and their product. You know, he has this big number of following on social media on Snapchat, which he's been in multiple controversies with before, when he obviously Snapchatted the owner of Gerard Cosmetics, calling someone ugly, etc. Like, there's been a lot of Snapchat controversy. And so for him to then use that audience and directly take them to another brand that's producing a product just because the other brand didn't send him PR, I kind of think if he did it in a sneaky way, he could have got away with it. Like, if he did it in like a semi-sneaky way, like, oh, by the way, guys, like a few hours later, like, I was just trying this, it's quite pretty, do you know what I mean? Like, but to literally directly go in, I think it was a bit too hard, and I think he's literally saying to his audience at the same time, it comes across like he's telling his audience he's petty. That's how it comes across from what I saw. So I was like, oh my god, honestly thought we were past this. I'm living for the tea, but at the same time, I honestly thought we were past this. What do you think about the situation of him posting those people from what we assume engaging into sexual activity? There's been a lot of negative comments about it. A lot of people thinking, just why would you do it in the first place? I would love to know your opinion. Do you think it's kind of fine, it's just general social media stuff that happens, or do you think it was a bit inappropriate, and do you think he should apologise or at least delete it? Because I think it's still there. Like, what do you think? He's spoken in the past about how he's done collaborations, but then the brand has dropped him last minute because of his swearing in videos. And I kind of think, well, if he's getting into that much trouble for swearing in his videos, there's swearing, and then there's like recording people engaging in sex without the permission. I'm family friendly, so don't throw tea and shade at me. Thank you. You can still get these. They are fully in stock in the US and Canada, shipping internationally. There should not be any customs into the EU because they are under the threshold. And you should get these in time for Christmas because they're stocked now and they're ready to go. I also completely forgot to tell you, the pigments that are released, I've also gift wrapped the few hundred, so I don't know if there's still any left, but they're all going to be coming in really beautiful gift wrap, which I know I forgot to even mention in the launch video. I was too stressed and too busy. Back to the tea. Why don't we get on to the Tati situation? Everything is kicked off with Tati. Tati has spoken openly and has then gone on a mad Snapchat rant. It's not really a mad Snapchat rant. Basically, she is not on the Anastasia Beverly Hills PR list. Anastasia Beverly Hills grew from social media. I know when I say this, sometimes I get some comments like, why are you degrading them? They started off, that's the name of the subculture palette. Subculture came from them having a subculture on Instagram. That's really where they grew. Of course, they did have a store, but they've grown to fame through social media. And that's a fantastic achievement. I don't think that's anything to turn your nose down at. But basically, Anastasia don't have Tati on their PR list. Now, Tati is known for giving very honest, very risky reviews. Not overly negative reviews, but just very honest and very straight up. She's not bothered about like mingling and that sort of thing. She's very much to the point most of the time. There's been a few occasions like with the Power of Makeup palette with Nikki Tutorials. I remember a lot of people at the time felt a bit like, Tati, why are you reviewing it the way that you're reviewing it when it's performing the way that it's performing? And that's something that I think a lot of you remember, and whenever I mention Tati, I do see it in the comments. But generally, I think she's very sweet and she's very polite, and I think the politeness sometimes gets in the way when we're talking about collaborations, but if we're not talking about collaborations with physical people that she's friends with, I really do enjoy videos. I just find them very straightforward. But she isn't on ABH's PR list, and ABH, having grown on social media, has a big PR list. They send product to a lot of people. And we're not just talking people with millions of subscribers, we're really talking about a lot of people. Why don't we watch what she said in a video?
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. It is Cyber Monday, and I'm going to share with you all what I am not purchasing, what I have seen online or in store that just for one reason or another did not interest me. I really thought I was going to do this, you guys, but I'm not going to purchase the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. I'm going to be talking about things that make me really uncomfortable in this video, but we're just going to do it. We're going to have a real conversation. So for years, it has puzzled me that I am not on the Anastasia Beverly Hills PR list. I don't understand what I ever did to the company to upset them so much that they've never sent me anything. And you guys know, they send out a ton of PR to smaller Instagrams, to smaller channels here on YouTube. I have actually been such a supporter of Anastasia. Like, I started getting my brows done there when I was 18, when I worked in Beverly Hills at a production company. Like, I would go there all of the time. Like, I was such a big advocate of like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest brand. I can't wait till they expand into bigger things. And, you know, a few of the products for me have been hit or miss. I think that's fair with any brand. You know, I always keep it real here. That's not why I'm not buying the palette. That's just a little bit of info to you guys that for the longest time, I have wondered, what did I ever possibly do to not make it on that PR list? And I've actually met their PR team. I do have to say, a lot of brands see my channel as someone that is very much okay with purchasing product on my own, because I am. It's just a bonus when I get a whole collection and I can review, but then there's that risk of me saying what I actually feel. So I don't know if that's it. I don't know if they just don't like me. I've never been able to figure it out. It's very strange. And back to why I'm not purchasing the Prism palette. There's no big reason that I'm not purchasing the Prism palette. Yes, Subculture for me was a disaster. It was very powdery, fluffy, and did not blend. However, the Modern Renaissance, which I did a full tutorial using that palette, I loved that palette. The formula, the blend, everything, the color setup, I loved. Then the Prism palette, looking at it, I just did not really jive with the colors.
And beyond what she said in the video, she clarified this further, because obviously it does come across like some people will interpret it as her saying like, I deserve PR, I deserve PR. To me, the difference between like Manny and Tati is that Tati posts videos 5 days a week talking about products. Fair enough, she might not talk about every single product that she sent, because I'm sure she's literally sent hundreds upon hundreds, but she spends a lot of her own money on products, and she's spoken about this multiple times, and she showed it in videos where she's bought an entire collection and then she's realized she's been sent it in PR, but she'll just do it because she buys makeup and she's used to doing it and she sees it as her responsibility. She doesn't come across as entitled. And so for her to go on and sort of talk about ABH, we're all listening and we're a bit like, this seems a little bit deeper rooted than just they didn't send me a package, you know? So she clarified on Snapchat and she began speaking, and she said that when she lived in Beverly Hills and she originally lived there, I can't remember what she was doing precisely, but she said that she used to go to Anastasia's place to get her brows done. Like, she used to go to the brow bar, like, and so she was really there at the beginning of the brand, like not the very beginning, but you know, I think Tati said nearly 20 years ago she was going there. So when Anastasia was first beginning, I'm sure that's what she said. Why don't we watch the Snapchat?
So what I wanted to touch on really quickly is I do talk about PR and not being on PR lists, and always wondering, you know, is it because I give rough reviews sometimes, or real reviews, which I would hope that we all do. You know, you wonder that, you wonder if it's something personal, and I don't want to come off as ungrateful. That is not my intention. Like, if I thought that's how anybody would vibe with the video, I would never ever even talk about it in a video. I think that when I was talking about Anastasia and the Prism palette, you know, A, the Prism palette didn't really call to me, but B, it's kind of crazy to me at this stage in the game. I've made 1,500 videos. You know, I've been doing this for 7 years, to wonder why everybody else in my community, like not just a few people, but everybody else is on that list and I'm not. So it just kind of, I'm sitting here and I cannot even think of everything else that I want to say, because every time I think of something, I'm like, no, someone might think of it that way or this way. And it's a little bit paralyzing sometimes to even speak from the heart, because someone's going to misunderstand you. And I guess all I want to say about today's video is I hope you guys understand I'm coming from a good place. The whole Anastasia thing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that is absolutely bananas. I mean, PR lists, people get kicked off all the time. I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm going to buy makeup that I want to review anyway. The cool thing about getting the sneak previews is you can do a better review quicker before a product hits the shelves. And because I'm a review channel, like, I really enjoy doing that for you guys. But please know, from the beginning, I always made videos without PR, and throughout the 7 years that I've been here, you know, I've made 1,500 videos. That's a lot of product that I've needed for all of those videos. But throughout my journey here on YouTube, I have always continued to purchase product. Like, it's almost embarrassing, like how much I spend on makeup, but it's for my channel. This is my job. I show up 9 to 5 minimum, Monday through Friday. I take it very seriously. I love what I do. I feel so grateful that I get to do what I do here on YouTube, and that is in huge thanks to you guys for watching and supporting me. And yeah, I guess that's it. I really am sorry if I came off in any negative way that made you feel bad. I just was genuinely frustrated not getting any answers, and it's hard when you see everybody else being treated differently, even when you're working so hard. And I've always had to work really, really hard to have what I have here on YouTube. And I guess that makes me a little more, it can make me a little more sensitive if I'm being totally honest. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. You guys, I love you. I really appreciate all your feedback, good and bad. I can take it. I mean, so long as you're not like dragging me really hard where I'm gonna be scraped and bruised. You know what I mean? Like, I like constructive feedback. So comment away, know that I love you, and you guys are the reason that I keep going. You inspire me to make better content, and that's really all I want at the end of the day. And I know that I don't get it perfect every time, and I'm human, and so much of the time I don't say anything at all, and I keep my feelings to myself. So today's video was just kind of me, like, all of my feelings all at once, and things I'm not going to purchase. So that's that. I'm gonna stop rambling and actually get to filming an actual review with products. All right, I love you guys. Happy.
So obviously it looks a bit like Anastasia, we think, knows who Tati is, you know? Fair enough, Tati does give risky reviews, but I guess ultimately it's up to the brand to decide who they do and don't want to work with. I don't think anyone is there to question that the brand has an image and they can decide who they do and don't work with. But at the same time, it just seems strange that everyone else, even people that are engaging in a lot more controversy, like even Manny with his Instagram stories, you know, people doing things, it seems like he's fine to still remain on the list. But people like Tati who are giving like very brutally honest reviews, and obviously we have the whole thing with the subculture. She did a subculture video saying it was a disaster. The Prism palette, I know a lot of people have spoken about this. This is the palette that came quickly after the subculture. This is Norvina's project. Norvina is Anastasia's daughter. I don't know if her real name is Claudia. I don't know why she has different names. I'm not too sure. But apparently this is her daughter palette. Norvina is obviously known for being quite different to Anastasia, and how Anastasia runs the company from like a very PR sound perspective, where Norvina, for example, there's been a lot of controversy. Even the past week, she posted a tweet saying, if you're scrolling past content of a person of colour or LGBT without sparing a like, which costs you nothing, you're contributing to an endless cycle of discrimination that some of you might fake concern for in public. But #S, don't lie. If you want people to believe you care, like pics. What do you think about this? Please tell me down below. Let me read some of the tweets that came to you. What if we just don't like or aren't concerned with the content? Because I don't like a person of colour or an LGBTQIA pics, I'm adding to discrimination. This is the saddest reach ever. Forcing your opinion on people is worse than the fake outrage you speak of. And then she replied saying, am I forcing you? Did I at you? Now, this isn't the type of thing that we have seen Anastasia herself engage with whatsoever. Anastasia is I like Anastasia, okay? But I think she's a very, very driven, very articulated, business-driven, business-concerned woman, and I do really like her. Norvini, I'm sure, is very similar, but she does engage in a lot more public controversy. You know, I don't know why, but we see her engaging with people that you wouldn't have assumed the brand would engage with publicly and stuff like that, and then you get this sort of controversy where you think, someone responded, you are entering the zone of forcing because you are attempting to whip up and nurture the unhealthy belief that people that don't like content are part of the problem. This is how people become branded phobic. Soon, just so they escape public backlash, they play along. So that was another comment. And then there was another one that came up as well that got quite a lot of traction from Lauren Southern saying, I literally ended slavery in Libya today by liking a trans person's selfie. Love heart. Thank you for all your hard work and activism. Woo! That came, that's wow. Norvingi replied, I was talking about people that follow makeup accounts like my followers and not everyone. Not sure why you felt the need to tweet me without background in my industry, but I literally hope your witty joke about atrocities in Libya delivered what you needed. Okay, so I don't agree with what Norvini's done here. So this lady said, I literally ended slavery in Libya today by liking a trans person. I don't think that's throwing shade. I think slavery in Libya is a real thing, and I don't think to talk about it in this connotation. For me personally, I didn't see it as offensive or disrespectful to people of Libya. I think she's using it as an example. That's just my thoughts. I don't really get Norvingi saying, I literally hope your witty joke about the atrocities in Libya delivered what you need. It wasn't a joke about controversies in Libya. It was a joke about how liking someone's selfie would end them, It's kind of, I don't agree with that level of manipulation. So I don't know do you see what I mean? Like, it's just not something that I would have thought would happen from Anastasia, from ABH. Like, Norvingi's literally the president. She doesn't work for the brand, like she is the president. So I don't know. Someone replied as well with a lot of traction. This is the single dumbest rant I've ever seen. I'm not contributing to discrimination if I don't like every single LGBT POC post. For the love of God, this literally sounds so stupid. I'm genuinely worried about the world if people actually think this. It's so sad. So that's basically all that controversy to do with the Anastasia thing. I just thought that was interesting for me to throw in with you. I think some of you will find it really interesting. But sometimes when I follow POC makeup accounts, sometimes they'll post things like, oh, link your favorite black beauty brands below and stuff like that, but they'll never talk about the other people of color. It's kind of like, and I'm kind of sad that like people of color doesn't just mean black. Like, you've kind of got Hispanic, you've got Indians, you've got Southeast Asians, East Asians, like there's a lot of different people of color, like all across the world. So sometimes I feel a bit like, I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it comes across like, I think people of colour, and then I just think it's a whole ecosystem in itself, like in terms of like the arguments with people saying like people's pictures, don't like people's pictures, I want to support people of colour, so tag your favourite black brands, but then it's like, what about all the other people? Do you know what I mean? Like when I was studying, it was black minorities and ethnics. That was the name of the position in the council, and it was black minorities and ethics. And some people would argue, well, why isn't it black and Asian and minorities and ethics? And then they were like, well, why isn't it just like grouped? Why is it blacks and everyone else? Like, why is it black minority? Do you see what I mean? Like, it comes across a bit like, I think this is honestly, these sorts of issues are so delicate, and there's so many opinions. You can obviously comment them down below. I'm not going to say what is wrong or right. I don't think I have any authority to really say that, and to be honest, I don't think anyone does. I think everyone is entitled to have an opinion, but it's one of those things that we as a society build, and I think we as a society should decide. I don't think it's up to one person to throw a rant or a hissy fit. And I mean, what do you think about the thing with Norvingi? I can get where she's coming from. There's a lot of makeup brands that won't work with LGBT people, and they won't contact people of colour. People look at Benefit, for example. Benefit are known for when they have a trip, they'll have one token person of colour. Their entire Instagram, their entire marketing, they don't care. They know who they want to sell to, and they're not bothered by people of colour, And the same with It Cosmetics. You obviously know the controversy behind It Cosmetics, with them not making shades darker than snow, like it's the brands that are catering to people of colour. MAC Cosmetics is known to catering to people of colour. Fenty Beauty is obviously known to catering to people of colour. Makeup Forever HD is known for a long time catering to people of colour. I know that's the best-selling foundation in Sephora, apparently. So I guess ultimately it's really up to you to decide. So what do you think about the situation with Tati posting her video and saying like, why aren't I on the PR list? Like, what did I do to offend you? Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation to be in. I would love to know what you think about it. If you bought the Prism palette, I would love to know what you think about it. I personally, I was kind of like, I've bought the Modern Renaissance palette. I've bought, a few other products by Anastasia, but I was kind of just like, maybe we should start a hashtag, like get Tati onto Anastasia's PR list, like Tati for president or Tati for ABH. That's funny. She'll be like, shut up, John, what are you doing? Anyway, that is all the tea for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have had a fantastic time. I've been so happy to sit with you. So happy to get through the tea. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe already. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can leave a thumbs down. That's completely fine too. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.